every agent is ready to switch teams. So today, we're gonna talk about how to spot when an agent is ready to make a move.
Revenue share opportunity isn't just for top producers and influencers. It should be available to every agent. It's not about yachts and fancy cars. It's about that single parent that can finally afford braces for their kid. This is the Agent Attraction Lab. Because opportunity shouldn't be reserved for a select few. Hey there, welcome back to the Agent Attraction Lab. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. And as always, I enjoy having you here in the lab with me. Today, we're going to talk about how do you identify an agent who's really ready to move. And that's one of the biggest challenges, right? Because we're moving our mindset from, hey, we need to have everybody, to now, who do we want and who is ready? The biggest challenges are, I've talked to people who wanted to move for months, even a year, and haven't, and then they finally make the move. But you just need to nurture those. I've had people, recently that are telling me that they're leaving to come join me for months and months and months, and you're looking on, and we're gonna get to this as well. So this is where you kind of pay attention to the social cues. But you'll see online that they're posting one thing on one side or the other. Either they're super happy at their brokerage, and then you're hearing on the other side that they're not happy at all, or you're hearing that or seeing that they're just completely appear that they're just hating their brokerage, and then next thing you know, everything is fine. So that can be kind of a tough one. We will discuss that a little bit. But the way to find and identify these agents who are ready to move is that you're gonna want to look for kind of like readiness cues, right? You're gonna want to identify those. So you're gonna look in and you look for signs of frustration with their current brokerage, whether or not it could be they're not getting the support they need, or they're not getting the growth, the support or growth that they were hoping to experience in wherever it is. And this is again where you can pick up these cues by having conversations. Hey, how do you like it over at XYZ Realty? How's that going for you? A lot of times we go, oh, it's great, I love it. But sometimes you might get the one, like, it's all right. Like, it's a brokerage, you get that, and then maybe they're not ready, but they're probably kind of open to the conversation. Where are you going to observe these type of cues where you're trying to figure out what they're saying and is it matching their happiness? So where you're going to find these cues are typically, just regular conversations. You're going to find them in forums. I don't know, Reddit for some reason, I'm not even really on Reddit, but I get notifications from all the time, and there's quite a bit of stuff going on in there. So, I mean, you could probably pop in there and find some people. You're likely not to, and understand what each social media platform does. And that's where you're going to find it. Typically, on something like LinkedIn, you're probably not going to see someone who's like boisterous about not liking their brokerage, just because that's a little more professional platform than some of the other ones, where you're probably gonna have to read between the lines too, because it's not going to be, oh God, I hate my brokerage, somebody help me get out. Although there are going to be a few that are like that, but most are not, because it's so easy to find that. If somebody else saw, they're going to send it to the broker and they're going to be gone. So you can probably, as you're on social media looking at those, you're going to see, probably have to read between the lines a little bit. So these are going to take a little bit of work, because it's not just going to be like, hey, I'm not interested, or I'm tired of my brokerage. Also, on the other hand, those in-person conversations, you're gonna find a lot out. A lot of the stuff, like social media posts, are so curated and so just highlights of everything that's going to be a little bit tougher. And this is why I'm recommending going out, doing your CE live, because you can go in and have a conversation with somebody and know their tone, ask them a couple questions. What's one thing you would improve about your brokerage? And then they'll start telling, like, instead of just asking just a closed-ended question like, hey, do you like your brokerage? No, what is it that you would improve? What is it that you like? Things like that, to where invites a conversation instead of a one-word answer that says, do you like your brokerage? Yes. Or it's okay. Like a 1 or 2 word answer. You're actually getting somebody to start talking about the things that they enjoy. And as you're asking these questions, it will kind of reveal, if they're unhappy, obviously. If they're unhappy, it's going to kind of reveal some underlying like frustrations and things like that. Like, oh, well, we were supposed to have this and now we don't, or we didn't have this, or whatever. Yeah, the transaction was so difficult. Like, for instance, we have free TCs. We have free TCs, and a lot of people don't have that. And how frustrating it is, because some people don't even know what a TC is. For anybody who doesn't, it's transaction coordinator. Will handle your file while you're out selling real estate. But what happens is, they can tell you something like, oh God, I haven't been able to go on showings for 2 weeks because I've been stuck with all this paperwork from the deal that I've done before. And that frustration is, a lot of agents go through the cycle of like, the waves of no transactions, and like 3 transactions, and then none. And what happens a lot of times is when they're prospecting and lead gen, they don't have any deals going on, but then they prospect, lead gen, show homes, and now they have deals closing. Well, while they're closing deals and showing homes, they're not lead gen and prospecting. So that's how that cycle kind of keeps going. But if that person that says that, and you go, well, hey, we got TCs. I think, have you ever got a TC? Ever thought about getting a TC? And they're like, oh, well, no. In some cases, what is it? And then you tell them and say, hey, this is what, normally it would cost $350, $500 per transaction, somewhere around there. But guess what? It's actually included, within our brokerage. And, imagine how many hours you're spending on paperwork. How many hours could you take from that and put towards closing more transactions? And so now you're off that roller coaster. But certain things like that, where you can pick up things where you're not saying, in a previous episode, believe it was last one, we talked about how you're not just saying, hey, we have transaction coordinators. What if that person already has one and they don't need one, and they're not going to change one? Maybe their company already provides it. That's not going to be a huge selling point to them unless there's another one that's more exciting and they just don't want to give up the transaction coordinator. But in this case, you can hear the frustration, which is, it's subtle, it's underlying, because they're not telling you, I wish I had a TC, I need to find a company with a TC. It's, I have this problem, and you have to identify. So as you're identifying these agents, again, it's not just super easy that they're gonna have a big sign on them saying I'm ready to move. But as you're having these conversations, just be more in tune. And this goes right back into the conversation we had about relationships. While you're having a relationship, you're actively listening to these people tell you things, and you can understand their pain points and understand why they're ready to go. And one of the main things is, a lot of people, we've talked about the CRM, basically a contact management system that can remind you of whether or not you need to reach out. In certain cases, whether or not, putting it in your calendar, maybe you're gonna put them on a drip campaign for certain things. Hey, even ask them permission. Hey, we have some stuff going on. We're gonna have a couple classes. Would you mind if I put you on our list to make sure that you get notified for, the class that we're gonna have? And classes are a great spot to go. Not just CE, but going to, your title reps are putting on classes. You have social media 101, those type of classes. You have lenders putting on classes, mortgage classes to teach. As you're going and learning about the business, this is the best part about it. You get to learn about the business and be around the business while adding another revenue stream to your business as you're out having these conversations with people, and you're just gonna get known and more friendly with these people as you start to see them out and about. But if you want to keep learning and how to pinpoint these agents, I definitely recommend jumping into the Agent Attraction Lab with us. Just click on the link in the description where you can come join us and hang out with us. But hopefully you got a little value from that. Just wanted to also, if you want to subscribe so you continue to get these updates when these videos come out, so that we can all build and grow together. That's kind of the intent and the plan for this. So I will go ahead and see you on the next one, which we will be talking about social media strategies to attract agents. So I will see you there. Have a great one.